Slurtle me this, snurtle me that. What goes beyond the tiny winged bat? I just answered you for Pete's sake. It's Slurtles and Snurtles, and they emerge from these beautiful structures, Slurtle mounds. But perhaps you've never laid eyes on one, nor have you a clue where to peep 'em. Well then, it's a good thing I'm here. Slurtle mounds don't really have a particular biome in which they spawn exclusively, but it is very likely that they will call the wilds biome, or at least a branch of it, home for the most part. But again, if you look here, you can actually see some being in the rocky plains biome too, so just keep your eyes open. But Beard, I found a lot of mounds, but I don't see anything coming out of them. Well, that's because you either didn't provoke them by hitting the mounds themselves, or there hasn't been an earthquake yet. But what the heck does an earthquake have to do with Slurtles? Good question, and the answer is that Slurtles love them some minerals, and they will come out of their mounds to do a bit of munching. Now, Slurtles here are neutral, unless agitated, and have a 90% chance to spawn from Slurtle mounds. They are slow, obviously, but boast an incredibly high health bar for a non-boss type mob. Be mindful though, if there isn't anything else on the ground for it to eat, it will come and knock them out of your inventory if you happen to have the proper minerals there. So how do we go about murdering these things? Well, you'll want to bait out its fast snapping attack and get hits in yourself up until it hides in its shell. Because when it does so, it will then absorb 95% of all physical damage dealt to it. So don't waste your weapon's durability, just repeat the kiting pattern until it's dead. Hopefully netting you some Slurtle slime and a broken shell. But we are after something far more valuable than that. So go ahead and work towards genocide in hopes of getting one of these to drop as well. A Shelmet. Having a 10% chance to drop, a Shelmet absorbs 90% of physical damage done against the player. Has a 525 durability, and boy, looks amazing sitting atop your lovely head. Oh, and it gives some pretty good wetness resistance too. But we aren't just down under looking for Slurtles. We hope to find ourselves a Snurtle too. A Snurtle is just a distant brother to the Slurtle that has a 10% chance to spawn from a mound, and it does so with a different shell too. Unlike its counterpart, Snurtles only have 200 health and actually flee from the player at all times, cause it knows it's gonna be dead so soon. Like a Slurtle, it will curl up upon taking hits, but its shell only absorbs 80% damage this time. Still enough not to waste your weapon on it though, so do the same thing you did with the Slurtle and it will be dead quick, hopefully dropping what is known as a Snurtle Shell Armor, with 735 durability, a 75% chance to drop, and an absorption level of 60%. You might be thinking that it doesn't go beyond that, but trust me, it does. But we'll touch on that later. For now, walk around looking fabulous in your new armor and proclaim yourself the king of the snails. Quick note, Slurtles and Snurtles will rummage through chests and backpacks for minerals as well. Gosh, these things love hard things. But if you hit them while they are munching, they will spit out whatever was in their mouths. But here's something that'll really make PETA angry. If you happen to ignite a Slurtle or Snurtle in any way, they will curl up inside their shell, rumble for a few seconds, then be blown to smithereens, dealing 300 damage to anything in range. But you do lose any chance of loot if you do this, so be careful. But behold the power of the Snurtle Shell Armor. you can actually hide in the shell yourself by right-clicking it, and then you'll be protected by literally any form of physical damage afterwards. Seriously, this thing absorbs 100% of physical damage from any source. It's amazing. But let's talk how they produce slime, because it ain't all random. Whenever a Slurtle or Snurtle eats enough minerals and actually goes through a process to, well, process said minerals, they will drop the slime where they sit. Go ahead and take a look at this table here for how that all breaks down. But in short, if a Slurtle or Snurtle eats enough minerals to hit a mineral value of 5, it will crap out a slime. So, that can mean 5 separate rocks or just a single gem eaten equals a slime for you. What is it used for? Well, you can blow it up if you wish. Slurtle slime is very volatile and can be ignited to create pseudo-gunpowder effects, providing an explosion that can deal 50 damage per slime, easily making it an amazing alternative to gunpowder. You can also use it to fuel up your lanterns to tip-top shape, or even your miner hats. Plus, it never spoils, so even better. And, depending on how much is actually blown up, they can cause earthquakes, meaning more minerals will be falling to the ground, bonking your head, which the Slurtles and Snurtles will love to munch up, which in turn will net you more slime. It's a win-win all around. Final notes here, those broken shell pieces are only good for making potted ferns, sadly. Unless you're into that sort of thing, then woohoo, potted ferns. The Snurtle shell can make it so frogs can't steal from you with their stupid sticky tongues, and after 5 seconds, any mob will piss off like you ain't even there. That's because it works very similar to the bush hat, in that it will hide you from aggressive mobs before they even aggro onto you. Heck man, this thing is so good, it'll even block big bads from dealing any damage to you, while also preventing Clops's freezing ability. So suck it, Clops. So there you have it, everyone. The creatures in this wacky world just keep on keeping on, and being darn useful on the way. I hope this helped. I wish you well on your slimy endeavors, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.